Hello and welcome everyone. This is a short video which is going to be an introduction to our Deltic in the Handsome pack from Vulcan Productions. It will show you a lot of the items that are included and also custom controls. So here we see King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry D9002 placed down in just a basic photo studio route that we have set up. First place to start, best place would be to hop in the cab. So the cab position has been slightly altered, and as you can see we have a nose. Now nose is something that you do not get by default with the standard Deltic, but it did come with the later BR Blue Pack version. So this has just been duplicated and made a scenic item so that we can use it on the old Kuju-era Deltic that we're also enhancing. But apart from that, standard fare to look around, and it's just normal as you'd expect, but via scripting we've been able to hide everything except the locomotive shape, which gives us our nose on the outside. Now whilst we're in the cab, obviously the default is to come to the cab where the driver is sat, and we have a custom light in each of the cabs which are controlled independently. Now you'll notice in the bottom left hand corner that you will get keys pop up on the screen. This is just to help if I forget to mention what I'm pressing. You'll see the control appear in the bottom left corner telling you what I pressed. So for the driving cab that you start in, the letter C will enable your cab light. If you press Control and plus to switch, you'll notice that this one, because of the independent control, doesn't have a cab light on, so you press Shift and C, and there we have it. These are cycling controls, so you just press Shift and C again to turn it off, back to the front cab to C again to turn it off. And that's about it for inside. Not much more we could do. So if we head outside of the train, and we'll start looking at the custom objects. So we'll do an overview first. So starting at the front, we have brand new tail lights and headlights. We have dynamic train reporting numbers, or head codes you may know them. We also have overhead warning flashes, which you can see there. You can probably pick up just coming into the right hand side of the frame. We've actually constructed 3D nose vents because these just catch the light properly, as you're about to see as I turn, whereas we had flat textured items from Kuju days, but of course PCs are much more powerful than they were then. The next item up is we have a 3D works plate. We have the running number of the train, and we have a high resolution BR totem. These are all done via custom objects or via decals, and this just allows you an area of much higher resolution than if you were to put it on a normal skin. By default, the entire body side skin is 1024 pixels, and I believe that British Rail totem that you're looking at there is 1024 pixel texture just on its own. Moving across, the next thing we will encounter is our 3D nameplate, and you will also notice again, wanting to get away from the poor flat textures, we have brand new 3D vents on the side here, complete with rivets, which is set up to catch the light nicely, and we've done our best to replicate the material settings of the main body side so that it behaves in a way you'd expect to look part and parcel of the actual object itself, the train. Then as we move down to this end, pretty much the same as the other end, except we have the 52A shed plate, which is on both sides at the number 2 end. So that's just one on this side, another 3D object, and then come down to the back. We also have this emergency stop handle down here. Again, chose to be a high resolution object So we're going to head back to the front of the train a bit quicker than we have been. And now we're going to go through some more of the custom controls. So firstly, the lights are completely decoupled from the built-in lighting system the Train Simulator has. This is to allow us A, more realistic control, and B, because scripts can't consult which way the train considers the headlight to be forwards and backwards, because that changes depending on which cab you're in. So we decided we will decouple that, and we'll just have the letter L control the front ones where the drivers are, and the letter M control the back ones, and that will never change physically on the model. It will always be at the end that you use L and M for. By default, both are set to red, as you should leave a train when you dispose it. So the default position is red. Press L once more, you get blank. Press L again, you get marker, or in this case train reporting number, lights to illuminate that panel, and press it again, and we get our seal beam headlight, which has got the lit texture and also some headlight flares on it as well. And down at the other end, because it's completely independent, we can do exactly the same with M, come forwards, right through the controls, and undecided at the moment, we're tempted to leave it so that you have to remember to switch these off, just like you would in real life, but there's also the option that we can script it so that when you couple to a vehicle, it will detect which end is coupled and just return all the controls back to the blank state, except for the tail lights. Of course, we don't want those to come back on, which is the default state, so it would set it back to the blank. So we'll just pop those with Shift and M back down to default, and once again we're going to head round to the front. So the way to think of the train run porting number, or train running number on the head code panel, is the controls are set up to be independent. So we have 8 digits for this end and 4 at the other end. Now to climb upwards, you would use control and 1 to 4 or 5 to 8 at the other end, and then control and shift to come downwards. So just for example, control 1, and control shift and 1 will take us back down, control shift 2, and control 2, 4 and 3, and that allows you to set your head code on the fly however you like. And the other thing we've included, and we're looking to expand this, which you probably noticed from our Facebook page earlier, is we also have a choice of headboards for this train. So we are just going to fly up to here, get a nice close look. So there are 3 positions where you'd expect to find a headboard on the Deltic as standard. We have the top lamp iron, which is controlled by P. So first up we have the iconic thistle, which you can see there, and if we press P again, now although it's not prototypical to D9002, which obviously is part of the National Collection, we have DPS headboard, and we're looking at including just a selection of headboards that will be able to be chosen on any of the locos, and then if you press P again, it will cycle back round. So like the cab lights, it will cycle back through to 0. We didn't do this with the head code because it's not prototypical. You do have to go the blind. So the second position between these 2 yellow marks here, not very well modelled, must be saying, the default model. This is controlled by the key O. We chose this because you'll have the 3 keys on a QWERTY keyboard next to each other. So if you press O, we get the Deltic Aberdonian, which was of course a rail tool done by D9002. And if we press O again, we get the Flying Scotsman. We're looking at including a couple more, but this is an area really that in terms of a lot of head codes has been exclusive to D9000 55002 Royal Scots Grey, with a lot of custom headboards going there. And press O again, and it will cycle back down. And last but not least, if we come down to, you'll notice the ETH orange jumper fouls the right hand lamp iron there, so we haven't included that as an option. So this last lamp iron above the left hand buffer, as you look at it, is controlled with the letter I. So if we press I, at the moment we've got a choice of 2 Pathfinder rail tool headboards, so one there and one there. 2 different designs which have been worn on rail tools in recent years. And then quickly we'll come down to the other end of the loco, and basically we'll show you the same controls again. So these train reporting numbers are controlled by 5 to 8 at this end. So control 5, control 6, control 7, control 8, and then shift control 5, 6, 7, 8 to come back down, and again this time we have control P to go upwards, control O and control I. And the beauty of this means that, you know, hypothetically, if it was a rail tool that was the Flying Scotsman run by Pathfinder and the Deltic Preservation Society, well, you could have all 3, we could have 2, or you could have 1. It's really up to you. So I hope this has helped give you a lot more information on what's included in this pack. The initial pack will be centred around the preserved examples of the class. They will be single and twin engine running variants with appropriate particle effects, so that you only have emitters from one exhaust. And we're also working closely with some members of the Deltic Preservation Society to try and get the simulation right for when the second engine works. As a lot of you may know, it's not straightforward like with say a Class 42 warship or a 52 Western, where both engines just do half of the train each because of their hydraulic transmission. So keep an eye on the Facebook page. There will be more info coming out about this as and when available.